We can say this, with 6.5 minutes left, the NASDAQ better get going if it is going to have 8 straight winning sessions. Right now, doesn't look like it. Down 75 points. We need to bring in a bunch of people here to help us understand exactly what's going on. Josh Jalinski, he's the president of Jalinski Advisory Group. Phil Flynn from the CME and Jeff Flock joining us from exactly the location where Congressman Rodney Davis of Illinois just referenced, Granite City, Illinois, where a brand new steel operation is old, but it's brand new because it's opening once again, ostensibly thanks to the president's announced tariffs. First to you, Josh, give me a sense of your concern. You, 1 month ago, right here, it said, watch out, the S&P is going to drop 10%. It has. Now what do you see in your crystal ball?
Well, my crystal ball could be a little fuzzy. Long term, I think fundamentals are good. I'm still positive on the overall Trump tax plan. I want to see what happens in the PA 18 election. I think if you look at what's going on with the wall and the steel tariffs, that could have been perfectly timed by Trump to help a failing candidate. I mean, if you look at the Democratic candidate, he looks right out of central casting. The Republican candidate, Saccone, was under trouble. I think even this wall thing, the wall demonstration, could be total political optics. I mean, I think they're going to go through that see-through wall. They're going to pick the see-through wall. Yeah,
that's exactly what the president learned from the border agent, which brings me to you, Jeff Flock, and you are sort of at Grand Central Station when it comes to a revitalized steel situation up there in Illinois. But just as Josh referenced, Pennsylvania, steel country, President Trump won that state, but you've got a Democrat who's a former Marine, and he has served this country pretty strongly. So lots of plates in the air as it pertains to where you are.
Well, I tell you, I have never seen more optimism in the steel industry, and I've been covering this industry for maybe 30, 35 years. And right behind me, by the way, that's the blast furnace that they're going to start, which is 500 jobs here. And, they just finally feel like somebody cares about them. They know that perhaps some people might be hurt by this. There may be some backlash by foreign governments, and there may be a trade war. But, they finally feel that someone cared about them. And that kind of goes a long way.
Why do you think U.S. Steel,
politically?
Jeff, why do you think U.S. Steel is down nearly 8% right now? Is just sell on the news, maybe?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, is that they feel like maybe the thought that it got overbought a little bit because we were talking about the tariffs so much. They just announced that, their earnings actually projections are increased, but of course that's maybe largely tax bill as opposed to anything else. So maybe it's already built in. But there's one analyst that says it could double, around 40 right now, I think. Yeah. It could double to 80, they think, if this really gets traction. I think there's a lack of confidence maybe that these tariffs will be as broad-based as, as suggested. There'll be a lot of carve-outs. Right. And maybe there won't be as much impact as we think.
It reminds you in a way, in a distant but sort of echoey way of Obamacare, when all these companies rushed to get waivers, and they got them. Maybe some countries are rushing right now to get waivers. Josh, and we've got Phil now, but Josh, give me your sense of where people should be putting their money. We are off the lows of the session right now. The Dow is down 174, but we still know that people need protection in their portfolio.
Yeah, I think the biggest way is to protect oneself from the Trump tax plan. One of the things we're seeing with our clients is portfolio bunching, meaning with the higher increased standard deduction of $24,000, not many people are going to be able to itemize. So I think with the markets are uncertain. One of the things you could do is tax plan. You could look at bunching. You could look at maxing out your 401k, the QCD, the qualified charitable distribution. You also have retirement plans. People are starting, defined benefit pension plans are coming back. People are also looking at creating LLCs and S Corps. So the markets are uncertain now. But one of the things we've covered in my radio show is trusts. There's going to be a huge boom in trusts now because you could actually own real estate with trusts now. And many protections afforded to REITs. Also, we're liking omni-channel retailers. I was just with my wife, and Instacart was a huge success, and I think Walmart and things, omni-channel retailers would be doing well with that stuff.
Phil, that said, we are looking at a Dow Jones Industrials that is straddling 25,000. We've already been below it today. I don't like to simply look at the Dow, and that's why we've got the NASDAQ up on the screen as well. This is certainly way more companies. Same, the S&P 500 is a broader index. What sense are you getting from the trading floor of why we started off in the green, strong and beautiful, and now we're in the red, beautiful for the shorts, but not so much for the bulls?
I think it's a little bit of the political uncertainty. You know, I think at first everybody looked at this Rex Tillerson firing. They didn't quite know what to make of it. But it creates that era of uncertainty. You have this election in Pennsylvania, which is going to be very big. And kind of a lot of traders are looking at this as a bellwether for the Donald Trump agenda. And this is going to be a very tough race for him. And if Donald Trump, Republican wins tonight, that's going to be very positive, I think, for the market. But I think a lot of that political uncertainty is weighing on prices right now.